As we will speak about Nishkaam Karm or no desire, but that is also kind of an oxymoron. Rather, I coin it as only do things which bring joy to you. Then there will be no expectation when you are actually working on it. Now, there is a book called Deep Work, which is written by Cal Newport. वहां पे उसने बोला कि deep work means the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding tasks to produce high quality results. और deep work के opposite जो है, which is called shallow work, which is less demanding, like administrative tasks or social media scrolling that do not contribute significantly to personal growth or long-term success. अभी हम लोग जिस दुनिया में है वहां पे ये अटेंशन डेफिशिएंसी या हमारा कंसंट्रेशन स्पैन इतना कम हो रहा है, वी आर नॉट एक्चुअली फोकसिंग ऑन द वर्क इटसेल्फ. अगर हम वो कर सकते हैं, मे बी स्टार्टिंग वेरी स्लो, then probably we can go towards Nishkaam Karm.
Absolutely. So, this attention disorder that you're talking about right now, and this entire social media which is being blamed, and the distractions that have become part of our life. So, why is it that all of this is coming into our life? That is because of the fact that we are not focusing on the now. There are two very interesting concepts that we need to understand before we jump into Nishkaam Karm itself. One is this whole chinta and shoka. What is this chinta? Chinta is about the future. What will happen in the future to me? Will I be successful? Will I not be successful? Etc. etc. Will this contract come to me? Will this deal go through? Will my client accept what I'm going to be doing? Will I be able to successfully sell? Etc. 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 All about the future. What is shoka? Shoka is about the past. Oh, I wish I could have done this. Oh, I wish I could have done that. Oh, only I had done this. If only I had done. Now, what is done cannot be undone. Correct? So, chinta and shoka are two things that are our constant companions. Now, what happens when chinta comes in? Raga comes, an emotion. Raga is anger. Okay? Saying, what if that doesn't happen? What if Goutam does not work with me? Etc. 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 Or the other is dvesha. Dvesha is something that happens with shoka. Saying, oh my God, why did I do this? I beat myself up. In the process of chinta and shoka, I am not living in the present. One of the important tenets of Nishkama Karma is one of the most beautiful shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita, which says, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. It has unfortunately been wrongly interpreted. People of a certain thought process of the West saying, this means that you should not have a goal. No, on the contrary, that is complete rubbish. The fact is that when you're doing something in life, there will be an outcome. Right now, Gautamji, to give you an example of what we are doing in this podcast. Why are we doing this podcast? Because we want to go and reach out to a whole host of people and talk to them about these concepts in life. When we do that, some people will like it, some people will not like it. There'll be a mixture of both, some like, some dislike. So this is natural. Some people will follow us, some people will not follow us, some people will reach out to us, some people... Now, these are all things that will happen later. But at this point of time, our conversation between you and me, you sitting in Melbourne, me sitting here in Bangalore, is on what? Is on making sure that we have the most exciting conversation for the two of us. The outcome from this is that both of us should, at the end of this conversation, say, hey, that was interesting. We both enjoyed ourselves, isn't it? So what is this whole concept of Nishkama Karma? First of all, Nishkam Karma is a little bit of a challenge. Let me first of all tell you that nowhere in the Bhagavad Gita does Krishna use the word Nishkam Karma. Let's keep that out of the way. Having said that, the point of Nishkam Karma is this, that can you now focus incessantly on what you are doing at this point of time. Let no distractions come in the way. Let nothing take your mind away from what needs to be done. So we're doing this conversation now. My phone is buzzing, there's some message that has come, there's something happening on WhatsApp, So should I focus on this, or should I divert my attention to look at what's happening on WhatsApp? Or should I divert my attention to what's happening in the kitchen? That's the whole point of Nishkaam Karma. Focus incessantly on what you're doing right now. You will get an outcome. As I said, a series of outcomes is a result. But don't worry about that. You focus now on what you're doing without any distractions. That is the whole concept of Nishkaam Karma.
Professor Earl Miller is a neuroscientist in Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He basically kind of said that our brain, one or two thoughts in our conscious mind we can process. And we are very, very single-minded being. Now, what he's saying is very weird. Let's say we are doing some work and maybe a phone ring or something like that. And when we go there, हमारा ब्रेन को रिकॉन्फिगरेट होना पड़ता है उस जॉब में जाने के लिए. उसमें थोड़ा टाइम लगता है. Pretty much वो जो डिस्ट्रैक्शन जो है, that is a low level work. फिर हम हमारा नॉर्मल वर्क पे बैक करते हैं. इसमें जब ये रिकॉन्फिगर होता है और बैक टू रिकॉन्फिगर होता है टू द मेन जॉब, इसको बोलते हैं इंटरमिटेंट अटेंशन लैप्स. And he basically figured out it's 5 to 7 minutes every time. That means आप एक काम कर रहे हो, उधर चला गया, फिर वहां पे उसी फोकस में लाने में 5 से 7 मिनट आपका चला गया. और यही काम अगर 1 घंटे में 7-8 बार करते हो, तब तो आपका कोई कंसंट्रेशन ही नहीं है. And if you are in that kind of a zone for a long time, आप खुद ही समझ सकते हो कि अंदर वो काइंड ऑफ अ रॉटिंग एक फीलिंग आता है अंदर से, एक फुलफिलमेंट लैक होता है. और इसको अगर हम ठीक करें तो हम शायद इजीली, मोर इफेक्टिवली निष्काम कर्म के तरफ जा सकते हैं.
देखिए, एक कॉन्सेप्ट है, इट्स कॉल्ड व्यवसात्मिक बुद्धि रेखा, व्हिच मींस सिंगल पॉइंटेड कंसंट्रेशन. Make sure that your buddhi, your intellect is like a rekha, a straight line. Okay, single-minded, single-pointed concentration. देखिए, पॉइंट ये है, अगर आपका मन हटता है from what you are doing right now, there is something that we use called the rate of retrieval. How much time does it take for you to come back to focusing back on what you're doing? So why do we tell people that, look, don't do that. Don't allow yourself to get distracted from what you're doing. Because of this point, and this is interesting, research that this professor has come up with saying, 7 to 8 minutes. How do you come out of it? So what is the practice that I recommend to everybody on this? I say, look, in the day, first and foremost, reduce your anxiety. In a day, you will get into multiple sell buy sell transactions. That is the way, that is the nature of our interactions in a day. So when you're going to get into this multiple buy sell buy transactions, focus very simply. If you're buying, focus on buying efficiently. If you're selling, focus on selling efficiently. If you were to focus on this, that look, I am buying something right now, whatever it is that I'm buying in this transaction. I could be buying something from the store. I could be a consultant. I'm buying something from my client. I could be a consumer durables guy. I could be anything. In this buy, sell, buy transactions, focus on what you're doing right now. You need to get the best buy or you need to get the best sell. So can you today sit down and put down things that you need to be doing during the day? In each of those transactions, check. Are you the buyer? Are you the seller? Or you could even be an observer. That somebody else is buying, somebody else is selling, and you're just sitting there as an observer. Possible. But in each of these roles that you have in the transaction, how can you get your A game into that buy, into the sell, or into the observation? Write it down. This way, if there is a distraction that comes in, And mind you, we live in an interconnected world. The phone will ring, the bell will ring in your house. Somebody will come and interrupt you saying, I need a minute of your time. This is normal. But if you have this list of transactions you want to do during the day, and if you're very clear that is what is my role in this particular transaction, it is easier for you if there is a distraction to come back. So we say rate of retrieval. How quickly can you come back to what you're doing? So do this as a practice. And you will then start practicing Nishkaam Karm, because then you're focusing on whatever is the action that needs to be done. You will get an outcome, and as I said, a series of outcomes as a result.
तो ये जो निष्काम कर्म की बात हम कर रहे हैं, मार्टिन सेलिगमैन करके एक प्रोफेसर है जिसने लिखा है ऑथेंटिक हैप्पीनेस. तो बेसिकली ये निष्काम कर्म करके हम तो हैप्पीनेस के तरफ ही जा रहे हैं, और हैप्पीनेस होगा तभी हम अच्छे से ठीक ठाक काम कर पाएंगे. ऑथेंटिक हैप्पीनेस में ही प्रपोज 3 ओरिएंटेशंस ऑफ बीइंग हैप्पी: प्लेजर, एंगेजमेंट एंड मीनिंग. ये 3 चीज उसने बोला था कि एक आनंद होना चाहिए, फिर एंगेजमेंट होना चाहिए, फिर उसमें थोड़ा मीनिंग भी आना चाहिए. बाद में ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड अ परमा मॉडल, PERMA. P में पॉजिटिव इमोशन में what he is saying is it's not about just smiling, it's about feeling good. और जब आप अंदर से feel good करते हो, whether it's study or work or sports, and ये feeling good बहुत contagious होता है. So when you feel good, automatically your surrounding, your ecosystem, your colleagues, they are also feeling positive, which actually affects your good work. Next, E is engagement. मान लो कि आप जो काम कर रहे हो उसमें आप absorb होते जा रहे हो. Every one of us, we have this experience. And this blissful immersion of that work or of that present moment kind of create a happiness, kind of create an engagement, which makes the job, the work automatically, naturally, spontaneously better. Karma ka PER, so relationship, we all are social animal, and how we connect with different people that create the life we create around ourselves. When we share our joy, ये joy बढ़ता जाता है. And when we love, we become more lovable. So this relationship also comes into play कि हम किसके साथ काम कर रहे हैं, हम कैसे काम कर रहे हैं. Next, M is meaning. Meaning is जहाँ we dedicate time to do something which is greater than ourselves. हम उस जॉब को सिर्फ जॉब की तरह या काम की तरह नहीं देख रहे हैं. It's kind of a fulfillment for us. It's kind of a worthwhile exercise we are doing towards something. And it happens when do activities which totally resonates with our inner core, swadharma, जो हम बात कर चुके हैं. Last one is accomplishment. We have to enjoy the game. It happens when we do activities which feel right and less work. जब ये ड्यूटी बाउंड या सर्कमस्टेंसेस फोर्स्ड काम से हम दूर जाते हैं, कॉशियसली, कॉन्शियसली, जॉयफुली, तब ये अकॉम्प्लिशमेंट बढ़ता जाता है. महात्मा गांधी ने बोला है, हैप्पीनेस इज व्हेन यू थिंक, व्हाट यू से एंड व्हाट यू डू आर इन हार्मनी. सो इसी तरह ही हम निष्काम कर्म करके we can make our life better, we can make lives around us better. On the next episode, we will talk about treat yourself like the most precious thing in your life. Atma Tripti, Atma Rathi. Keep watching. Thank you.